What a treat to be here tonight. It's a very special night. And as we all know, the 2025 season is well underway, but this is a wonderful occasion for all of us to gather together and really celebrate the rich history and tradition of New Jersey golf. It's also a night to recognize individuals that have made a very powerful and positive mark in the game and in our sport. And it's also a night to celebrate the quasquicentennial. I looked that up, quasquicentennial, that's 125. So congratulations to New Jersey Golf. So we're gonna have a very special evening ahead of us. And just so you know, I get this call from my good friend Kevin Purcell, who says, Brian, we would love to have you MC our Hall of Fame dinner and our quasquicentennial celebration. And I said, of course, Kevin, that would be great. I would be honored to be a part of this special night. When is it going to be? And he said, tomorrow. And at that point, it was very clear that I was not Kevin's first choice, and that's okay. You know, I let the anger and the humiliation pass, and quickly said, absolutely, this is a great opportunity for me. I truly do love nights like this because I think it's inspirational, it's motivational. We're seeing some incredible people that have done incredible things, and I can't wait to tell more about their stories as the night goes on. I will say Mike Trostel of the USGA was supposed to be in my shoes here tonight. He is celebrating the birth of a new little Trostel, and the family is healthy and happy and fine, so a round of applause to Mike and his family. And Mike, of course, is with the USGA and a great representative of that organization. But since he's not here, I thought we could maybe talk about that great idea for hitting the ball shorter in a few years. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Seriously, as a longtime PGA professional, I truly enjoy moments like this. And I'm currently the president of Bally's Golf and the GM at Bally's Golf Links at Ferry Point, across the river in the Met section. But the Met section, the New Jersey section, and the Philly section all comprise District 2. And we're a very close district. I've got a lot of friends and colleagues here in this room, and it's great to be here with all of you. And of course, we're all members of the MGA, and that association means a lot to me as well. So I honestly love New Jersey golf, and it's a treat to be here with all of you tonight. A quick shout to Don McCabe and Joe Kelly, my two good friends here at Essex. By the way, the last time I was here was after dark, so to be able to come here and see the layout and this property, you know, hats off to the superintendent and his crew as well. This place looks magnificent, so just a treat to be able to see it in daylight. Also, a quick note, we are in the midst of the PGA Professional Championship. It means a lot to us PGA Club professionals, but 20 will move on to Quail Hollow into the second major of the year, and we've got some district representation in the top 20 at the moment, which is kind of nice. It's a great time for golf. We've got the Mizuho Americas coming this week. We've got Rory McIlroy completing the Grand Slam, Scotty Scheffler just waiting to come alive, Justin Thomas winning. It's a real exciting time for golf, and of course we've got the Ryder Cup coming down the road here in our area too, which is quite a treat. But I have rambled on enough. I'm excited to get to the action here tonight and celebrate some wonderful people in this great organization. So if you would, please take a look at this short video on the history of New Jersey golf.
Welcome to the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame, where we celebrate the individuals who have greatly influenced golf in our state and have left an indelible mark on the game of golf. Our mission is clear: to honor New Jersey's finest amateur and professional golf competitors, as well as those whose contributions have transcended the game itself. From talented architects and insightful journalists to dedicated superintendents and inspiring mentors, the Hall of Fame recognizes the extraordinary efforts of all those who have played a significant role in advancing the sport. We invite you to join us in honoring these legends and inspiring future generations to uphold the legacy of excellence in golf.
We've got three legends to celebrate tonight. It's going to be a great night. Without further ado, I want to introduce New Jersey Golf President Rod McRae.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, our staff, and the over 80,000 members of the New Jersey State Golf Association, now known as New Jersey Golf, I would like to welcome all of you to the New Jersey Golf 2025 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. What a beautiful evening. I would like to give special thanks to Essex County Country Club for hosting such a wonderful event. Thank you very much. This is a special night not only for the three... Go ahead, sure. Beautiful. This is a special night not only for our three inductees, but for New Jersey Golf. 2025, and I won't try to say sesquicentennial, I've had to say that enough, is the 125th anniversary of our organization. We would not be here today if not for a group of 15 enthusiastic golfers from 10 clubs had not gotten together to form an organization to support golf in the state of New Jersey. 6 of the 10 clubs continue to thrive today, and we are honored to recognize them for what they have done for golf in the state of New Jersey. We also have some dignitaries in the room I'd like to recognize. First, we have David Glenn's Hall of Fame class of 2022 with us tonight. We have several New Jersey Golf past presidents in the room: Bill Freeze, Eric Houseknecht, Jeff Liebler, Frank O'Brien, and Tom McGovern. Guys, thank you for being here. Representing the USGA, we have Aaron Gronfeld. Aaron, thank you. Representing the Metropolitan Golf Association, I know Greg Angelillo is here. Greg, thank you for being here. And representing New England and Mass Golf, we have Joe Sprague. Thank you for coming. We also have the director of the New Jersey Golf Foundation, Chris Hunt, and the executive director of the New Jersey PGA, Chris Bauer. Thank you all for coming. The Hall of Fame is to honor those who have contributed to the rich history and tradition of golf in New Jersey. We will recognize those who perpetuate the achievement of those individuals who have made outstanding contributions to the game of golf in New Jersey and have helped bring recognition, honor, and excellence to our state. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks, Rod. And at this point, I would like to welcome in the New Jersey Golf Executive Director, my good friend Kevin Purcell. Kevin.
Thanks, Brian. Brian, we really appreciate you being here on such short notice. Brian was a little bit cordial in accepting this, so it's really terrific that he can. We're such good friends that he can come out here and be with us on such short notice. So we're here to induct people into the Hall of Fame, but we thought we'd take a moment in our 125th to recognize some of the pioneering clubs who laid the foundation for New Jersey golf 125 years ago. We stand on the shoulders of 10 clubs whose passionate dedication birthed a legacy that has flourished into a vibrant golf community, the one we enjoy today. On the evening of June 1st, 1900, a momentous event took place just down the hill here at the original clubhouse for Essex County Country Club at Hutton Park. 10 clubs, each distinguished in their own right, convened for dinner to establish the framework for what would become New Jersey's premier amateur championship. The gathering was not just a social event, but a congregation of minds to commit to nurturing the sport of golf in our state. Picture with me for a moment a dark oak paneled room, dimly lit, probably a bit smoky, dinner table just being cleared, and an after-dinner drink being poured. 15 men from 10 different clubs discussing how to identify the best golfer in New Jersey. There was a motion passed to form an association, and then another motion to elect leaders. At the helm would be L.H. Graham of Baltusrol, elected the first president. His leadership, alongside the new secretary L. St. Clair Colby of Essex County Country Club, would set the tone for an organization that would prioritize sportsmanship, camaraderie, and the pursuit of excellence. Today, we celebrate 10 founding clubs whose unwavering commitment to the sport has left an indelible mark on New Jersey golf's heritage. The clubs were Baltusrol Golf Club, the Englewood Golf Club, Essex County Country Club, the Hillside Golf and Tennis Club of Plainfield, now known as Plainfield Country Club, Jersey City Golf Club, the Golf Club of Lakewood, the Golf Club of Montclair, Morris County Golf Club, North Jersey Golf Club, and Yanticall Country Club. We are proud to acknowledge that 6 of these founding clubs continue to thrive today. Their enduring presence is a testament to their resilience and their dedication to the sport. Tonight, we would like to recognize these clubs and celebrate the legacy they have bestowed on us. A legacy that today includes a community of 260 member clubs, courses, and organizations, collectively encompassing 80,000 New Jersey golfers. Their vision and devotion helped create a community where the love for the game transcends generations, ensuring that the spirit of golf remains vibrant and strong in New Jersey. We have 6 clubs with us here tonight. We'd like to honor each of those clubs with a gift of a permanent marker that we hope will be placed on their first tee of the founding clubs, so that all those who play those courses appreciate that these clubs are the foundation of New Jersey golf, and that they continue to inspire us all. Rod, will you join me up here? We're going to warmly welcome one representative from each of the founding clubs. So at the tables of clubs, just select one representative to come, and let's hold our applause to the end as we welcome each of the clubs. So Baltusrol, Essex County, Montclair, Morris County, North Jersey, and Plainfield. Let's give these clubs a round of applause. Guys, hold on for one. We're going to get one picture of everybody up here.
One moment. Let's just get the Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin, and congratulations to those clubs. If you think about it, they really paved the way for just an incredible legacy of golf in this area. You know, it's something that I kind of think about quite a bit, being a PGA club professional here in the MGA area, but we are blessed. I mean, you could point a finger in any direction and hit 10 top 100 golf courses. I mean, this is the cradle of the best golf in the country, and we are very fortunate to be here. We're fortunate to be in this business and be a part of golf. So thanks to those founding clubs and for paving the way for the place we're in right now. Anyway, we're going to shift gears and sort of move into the next portion of the evening, which really is a celebration of 3 incredible folks. And to help me with that, I'd like to introduce the New Jersey Golf Vice President and Chairman of the Hall of Fame Nominating Committee, David Kronheim.
Good evening, everyone. My job is to thank all of you for the participation that you've shown this year. You and the greater New Jersey golf community takes the time every year to nominate dozens of worthy applicants for our Hall of Fame. It's my job as the chairman of the nominating committee to work with our committee to sift through those nominations and to narrow the list for induction into the Hall of Fame. But every year we get dozens of wonderful nominations, and we do read every one of them. We discuss every one of them, and I would continue to encourage all of you who have someone you'd like to nominate to continue to put forth those names. We have had a tremendous number of applicants or nominees that have come from the public that we didn't know anything about and have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we appreciate that. And please do take the time. There's a link on the website where you can submit that information. And I would just encourage you to take a moment, if you enjoyed tonight, to think about someone you think might be worthwhile of induction to the Hall of Fame. With that, I'm going to read the criteria for induction. We nominate only living people, I should mention. So, only natural persons, living or deceased. Any person may nominate a natural person, living or deceased, for admission to the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame. The nominating committee will recommend annually, by a simple majority vote, to the Hall of Fame committee a slate of nominees for consideration. And the criteria are as follows. The nominee shall have made an extraordinary and remarkable contribution to or impact on the game of golf in the state of New Jersey as a player, either an amateur or professional, a club professional, superintendent, architect, golf industry participant, or other person involved in the game in the state of New Jersey, and have a strong connection to the state of New Jersey by virtue of being a New Jersey resident for at least 10 years, a New Jersey resident during the period of accomplishment, or a member or employee of a New Jersey golf club or facility during the individual's period of accomplishment and holding him or herself out as being a representative of that club, or in the judgment of the Hall of Fame committee, possession of unique and substantial connections to the state of New Jersey without regards to residency. With that, I think the three individuals who have been will be inducted this evening all meet these criteria, and I'm very happy to be here to witness that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And without further delay, it's time for the presentation of the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame Class of 2025. And our first inductee is Marina Alex. And before we bring up a presentation, let's take a look at this short video.
From her New Jersey beginnings to the world stage, Marina Alex has carved out a remarkable legacy in the game of golf. Thanks to the encouragement of her father, Steve, Marina's journey began at North Jersey Country Club. Often, the only girl her age playing competitively in the area. Surrounded by club professionals, her brother, and her godfather, Charlie Cal, she quickly stood out. That early exposure not only shaped her swing, it shaped her character. From learning golf etiquette to adapting to high-level competition at a young age, those formative rounds laid the foundation for her future. Marina captured the 2003 New Jersey Junior Girls Championship and finished runner-up at the 2005 New Jersey Women's Amateur. She went on to play Division I golf at SEC powerhouse Vanderbilt University, where her potential flourished. With relentless hard work, she became a two-time SEC Golfer of the Year and a first-team All-American. That belief carried her to the LPGA Tour, where Marina spent 13 seasons competing against the world's best. She captured wins at the 2018 Portland Classic and the 2022 Palos Verdes Championship. While racking up 83 top 25 finishes, 35 of them in the top 10. In 2019, she proudly represented Team USA at the Solheim Cup. Even as her career took her around the world, New Jersey remained close to her heart. Competing in her home state brought a special sense of comfort, surrounded by family, friends, and the memories of where it all began. Growing up in the Northeast also gave her an edge. From battling the elements to reading tricky greens, her roots in New Jersey golf prepared her for the challenges of major championship play around the world. After over a decade on tour, Marina stepped away from the game at the end of the 2024 season. Now, in recognition of her achievements and lifelong dedication to the sport, she is being inducted into the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame.
A very, very impressive resume, and still much, much more to come. Several family and friends are here to help us honor Marina. Father Steve, Mother Marissa, and to officially introduce our first honoree is Marina's brother, Anthony Alex. Anthony.
Just like to start out and congratulate the class. It's a great class. It's quite an achievement. It is with a deep sense of joy to introduce the next member of the Hall of Fame, Marina Alex. Marina is an extraordinary individual that has accomplished incredible success both on the course and off. Many of us had the privilege to witness Marina excel at her craft at every level. Displaying a level of calm and mastery on the course, Marina showcased her talents with ease. However, the culmination of all those incredible golf shots across the globe were anything but easy. Marina is a fierce competitor with an insatiable drive to find the best answer to any problem. Dedicating her life to golf, I have witnessed her challenge all her limitations with the confidence she would ultimately be successful. Braving all the elements, Marina has never backed down and accomplished her goals while facing the struggles of life on the road, stifling heat, or even those nasty New Jersey winters. Despite all of her success in golf, Marina has never lost sight of the important things in life: generosity, compassion, and enjoying the little things. Some of my fondest memories with Marina come in the simplest settings. Laughing in the kitchen while preparing a family meal, or listening to her insights about golf during practice. As awe-inspiring her victories are, Marina has always been a person someone can turn to for help or a laugh without fear of reproach. Regardless of the circumstances, I can turn to Marina for advice either in my career or personal life with the understanding that her input would be grounded and sincere. Cherishing all the small moments of kindness and insight are just as valuable as watching her play the game we all love. I consider myself lucky to have her in my life, and now I'd like to welcome her to the stage.
Wow, okay. Thank you, Anthony, for the lovely introduction, and thank you, everyone. Good evening. It's great to see so many familiar faces. The whole crew from North Jersey, congratulations on the honor as well. It's been way too long, and it's wonderful to see everyone here. Standing here tonight is something I never imagined as a little girl picking up golf balls out of the woods with my dad and my brother at Passaic County Driving Range. We have really come a long way. And there's a little daylight left. It was up to my dad. We would probably be out there right now hitting balls. To be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame is not just an honor, it's humbling and deeply meaningful. There is so much rich history in the state of New Jersey, and it's a privilege to join such incredible company like Maureen Orcott, whose junior tournament is still being played at White Beaches every year. And that was the first place I ever broke 80 in competition. It's a moment I'll never forget. And of course, here tonight, another New Jersey golf legend, David Glens, right over there. Give him a round of applause, everyone. Dave taught my father so much about the game, and in turn, he taught that to me. I was lucky to take a couple lessons from Dave throughout my years, and he is truly one of the greats. Thank you so much. It's crazy to think I've closed the chapter on such a remarkable journey, but I didn't get here alone. I got here because people believed in me, supported me, and sometimes carried me when I needed that extra motivation. So before I say anything else, I want to thank the people who've made this moment possible. First and foremost, to my parents, thank you so much. You were there for every early morning, every long drive to tournaments, and trust me, there were many of those. You believed in me before I ever truly believed in myself. Dad, you spent countless hours on the range with my brother and I, And Mom, you spent year after year driving up and down I-95, taking us to every junior tournament we could play. You sacrificed so much so that I could chase this dream. This honor is as much as yours as it is mine. To my brother Anthony, you've been the biggest supporter all these years. It's rare to share such a unique journey like professional golf with someone. Every step of the way, I know you've been there when I needed it, and I hope I've been able to teach you a thing or two along the way. To my grandmother Chris, I'm so happy you're here. It's wonderful to be able to share these career moments with you. Sadly, Papa Jimmy and my mom's parents are not here with us anymore, but as far as grandparents go, I've had the best. My grandfather Sal would take me to play at North Jersey Country Club every week. Without him and my grandmother Marion, having North Jersey as a place to play and practice and really get better would not have been a possibility. And Papa Jimmy, he had every stat and every tournament round recorded, and he loved going through everything with me. He enjoyed following my golf so much. There have been moments in my career where I have felt their love and presence with me. And last but not least, to my godfather Charlie, not only are you my godfather, but you are a heck of a player in your own right. Looking back, I have been so blessed to be surrounded with such incredible people between Charlie, Chris Dotchison, and my father. I've learned so much from all of you without even realizing it. And most of you know Charlie is a great instructor, and we spent many years working on my putting. But at the end of the day, he always knew and understood the challenges of playing competitive golf week in and week out. Thank you all for everything you have meant to me in my career, but most importantly in my life. I think winning the New Jersey State High School Championship was the first time I realized this idea of playing pro golf was actually a possibility. Even though I was not able to capture the New Jersey State Am, and I'm still a little bitter about it, the pride I had growing up playing in this state, I carried into my career at Vanderbilt and then eventually on to the LPGA. It took many years to feel settled out there and like I truly even belonged. In fact, there were so many years where I thought it was over well before it even began. But then came the win in Portland. Thinking back to that event, it still makes me super proud because of what it took to get there. All the years of hard work, a ton of heartbreak, and eventually learning to trust myself, even when it seemed like most everyone was doing things differently and oftentimes better. The 11 years on the LPGA were not about results or wins, but they were really about resilience, about finding something deep within myself when I was ready to close the door on professional golf many times, and I'm so glad that I didn't. I think the most full circle moment of my career came at the Solheim Cup. Representing my country was one of my greatest honors. To wear red, white, and blue, and to be a part of a team tradition with women that I grew up idolizing. It's a memory I'll hold on to forever. I was playing for something more than just myself, and we really don't get that very often in golf. In fact, I have a pretty funny memory about that week. There was a point we were playing, the weather was so terrible. We were in Scotland, it was raining, it was freezing cold. It was actually just a typical Jersey spring day. I was near the end of my match, I was freezing to death with my caddy, and I remembered playing an IJGG tournament here at Essex County, of all places. I was 12 or 13 at the time, carrying my clubs. It was so cold and raining so hard, and I actually think it might have started snowing at one point. And all I wanted to do was go inside. The two girls in my group, they decided they didn't want to play anymore, so I ended up joining a group of boys that were the group ahead of me. And after about 13 holes, the tournament director came up to me and he said that there was no one left in my division and that if I had just finished playing the round, I would win the tournament. So these wins don't come that easy anymore. And I remember my dad coming up to me and reminding me to just tough it out. He's like, you can finish, it's just a few more holes left. And so I did, and I'm very glad that I did. I learned that day that truly sometimes it's not about winning, but it's about finishing what you started. Golf has given me a lot, some trophies, a lot of travel, and some amazing friendships, but it's also taught me even more. It taught me to be patient, it's taught me perseverance, it's taught me to be gracious in defeat and humble in success. There were times I wanted to give up, times I wondered if I was good enough, but all of those moments have built me into the person that I am today. Finally, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee and Kevin Purcell for this incredible honor. I stand here tonight not just as a golfer, but as a product of everyone who helped me, believed in me, and loved me. Sure, this is the end of one chapter, but it's the start of something completely new. Congratulations to my fellow inductees, Steve Fail and Brian Comline. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here tonight.
Congratulations, Marina. Boy, we're off to a great start. And some quick perspective on the importance of family and team and members around you. And that was wonderful. And I think how few people are able to call themselves an LPGA winner, let alone someone who has represented their country for the Solheim Cup and, top 20 finishes in all major championships. Just an amazing career in a very short amount of time. So, way to go. The second member of our class of 2025 is Steve Fail. And let's take a look at the video for Steve.
For over 4 decades, Steve Fail has been a guiding force in New Jersey golf. A steady hand, a passionate leader, a true ambassador for the game. From 1989 through 2014, Steve served as Executive Director of New Jersey Golf, ushering in an era of unprecedented growth and transformation. Under his leadership, member clubs multiplied, GHIN handicaps soared, caddy scholarships expanded, and the tournament calendar flourished. But his journey didn't start there. A collegiate golfer at Colby College in Maine, Steve found his early footing in the game as both a player and a teacher. After a brief teaching stint in Rumson, he set his sights on golf administration. That decision led him to the United States Golf Association, where he spent 5 formative years learning from legends P.J. Boatwright, Frank Hannigan, Grant Spaeth, and Tom Meeks, mentors who shaped his vision, lessons that would shape a legacy. When he returned to New Jersey as executive director, he brought that knowledge with him, and he used it to build something special. In his first season, New Jersey Golf hosted just 12 championships over 29 days. By the time he retired, the calendar had more than doubled, offering 24 championships across more than 60 days, not to mention USGA qualifiers, member golf days, and more. Steve always said it wasn't just about the golf, it was about the people, the volunteers, the interns, the community. He built a strong staff, a devoted base of volunteers, and helped mentor the next generation of golf leaders through the USGA's P.J. Boatwright internship. In 2008, he oversaw a milestone merger with the New Jersey Women's Committee, bringing the women's championships under the New Jersey Golf umbrella and expanding the association's reach like never before. And as the game evolved, so did the organization. Steve led New Jersey Golf into the digital era, launching its first website in 1998, transforming how players engaged with the game. He later helped launch the association's first magazine in 2004, giving the golf community a deeper connection to the stories and people behind the sport. His work didn't go unnoticed. Over the years, Steve received numerous honors, from the USGA's Ike Granger Award to the IAGA Distinguished Service Award. He was named one of 12 driving forces in golf by the Star-Ledger and one of New Jersey Golf Magazine's 10 most influential people in golf. Today, Steve Fail continues to serve New Jersey Golf as a trusted consultant, still offering his wisdom and vision to help guide the future of the game he loves.
I was going to say I was going to say several friends, but I think everybody in this room is a friend of Steve Fail, and we want to thank his friends for being here to support him, and family members as well, including his wife, Betsy. To introduce our second inductee is Steve's friend and former co-worker, Mike McEnany.
Good evening. First, thank you to the entire staff and membership here at Essex County Country Club for hosting us this evening. As you all know, this club holds a very special place in the history of New Jersey golf, as well as Steve and his family, which you'll hear about in just a couple minutes. We're always fortunate to be your guests, and thank you for hosting us tonight. Congratulations to Marina Alex and Brian Comline on their elections to the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame. They're two of the most decorated competitors in our history. Their success at a high level over the last quarter century has been a great source of pride for New Jersey, and there's much more in store for them both, so we're excited for many more years of excellence. It's an honor for me to speak tonight about my friend Steve Fail, and despite the urging of a few who suggested that the next few minutes be a roast of Steve, I'm here to talk a little bit about the impact he's had on the game of golf in New Jersey, myself, and so many people in this room tonight. My introduction to Steve came on May 8th, 2001, when I had a job interview with him through an arrangement of a mutual friend at our former headquarters known as Golf Cottage on Broad Street in Bloomfield. I'd graduated from college the day before and was following the instructions of my parents, which were very simple: find a real job immediately. Fortunately, it didn't take long. The next day, Steve called and made me an offer, which I accepted right away. Looking back, it was a match made from sheer desperation. It was a busy time of year. Steve needed to find cheap labor quickly, and I had to have a job. The job had no title, but a lot of different responsibilities, the prototypical entry-level job. So off we went. I'd like to believe we became fast friends. Because I never played golf and wasn't around the game growing up, I had no idea what I was doing. In fact, I still don't. I spent a lot of hours that first summer at my desk inside of Golf Cottage, scared that the big guy was going to come downstairs into the office that Rich Kennedy and I shared and tell me I was totally incompetent and send me out the door. It still hasn't happened yet, and instead it turned out to be quite the opposite. What I quickly realized is I'd been given the opportunity to learn from one of the best in Steve. As a friend, a boss, and a highly experienced administrator, he quickly became the perfect mentor. Steve has a deeper knowledge of the game than just about anybody. Whether it was his expertise with the rules of golf or his understanding of the intricacies of championship administration, Steve knew it cold. He'd seen it all. Like a great teacher, he shared his knowledge with so many people, whether it was our staff, our officials, board members, or the people at the clubs we visited, or his counterparts across the country. So many times I'd be with Steve at a club and we'd be sidetracked by somebody, whether it was the golf professional or the superintendent, or a member who wanted to pick his brain about the rules or how to handle something controversial around the club, or just chat. His generosity with sharing his knowledge with anyone who asked no doubt came from some of his mentors who you just heard about: P.J. Boatwright, Frank Hannigan, Tom Meeks, and so many others. Steve paid all that knowledge forward. Another quality that stood out was Steve's personality. Steve knew everyone, and everyone knew him, for better or worse. Whether it was the players in our championships, the staff and members at clubs, people at the USGA and elsewhere, Steve had a relationship. The importance of building relationships was the point which Steve emphasized most often to all of his employees, and how especially critical they are in our line of work. As golf administrators, as the PGA professionals that we've been to their clubs before can attest, we are a very needy group. We rely so much on the willingness of others to go out of their way simply to allow us to do our jobs. Whether it's working with all the different people at a club for an event, or trying to develop support from our board for an idea that we might have, there had to be buy-in. Steve understood the science of this. Watching Steve's tremendous ability to develop a rapport with seemingly everybody, often with those with different agendas and perspectives, and get them to fall in line, spoke volumes about him as a person and speaks to his professional success. Those long-standing trusted relationships with Steve invested in may be the biggest reason why he's being honored tonight. In my opinion, the quality that always stood out the most about Steve was how he was always deliberate and intentional about making introductions and helping other people build relationships. We'd be at a club, and he'd know every pro on that staff, the superintendent, the club manager, the locker room guy, members, board members, caddies, and he made sure that you did too. Whether he realizes it or not, that singular gesture of making introductions over and over for the 14 years we worked together made that 22-year-old kid who was scared of getting fired most mornings when he first started so much more comfortable, confident, and prepared for a career. A lot of what I learned from Steve were those intangible things that I just mentioned, the ability to be personable, the ability to develop relationships, as well as the tangible things, coordinating logistics of running a championship, setting up a golf course, learning the rules of golf. As one of Steve's employees, he made sure we were exposed to it all. This included the added bonus of something we like to call cross-training. Things outside of golf that might help someone develop a few life skills beyond their chosen profession. Cross-training often involved handling small maintenance projects around our headquarters golf cottage. Anyone who had the life-altering experience of visiting Golf Cottage in those days knows that in our last few years in that building before moving to Kenilworth was like the TV show Survivor. The building was literally falling apart. OSHA would have shut it down immediately had they been aware of its condition. However, Steve, always the mentor, saw this as an opportunity for his young staff to prepare for eventual home ownership with tasks, including but not limited to toilet repair, air conditioner installation, bird and rodent removal, alive and, well, not alive, and mold remediation, all while Steve watched from another room. Not to be limiting, Steve always allowed Rich Kennedy and I to explore our respective potential in IT support. Never one known for his technological wizardry, Steve often relied on Rich and myself to help with such high-level tasks, including attaching files to emails, helping to find and turn off the caps lock key, and providing him with guidance on when it was better to use Microsoft Word or Excel, just to ultimately result in one of us doing it for him. His technological deficiencies aside, you heard in the introduction video that Steve oversaw an unprecedented period of growth by the association while he was executive director from 1989 to 2014. He worked alongside 13 different presidents and 3 different office locations, taking us from Golf Cottage in Bloomfield to Galloping Hill, where we are today. Steve's tenure saw the association double the number of championships from 12 to 24, and for the first time, conduct USGA qualifiers. He guided the merging of the former New Jersey State Women's Golf Committee into the NJSGA in 2008. Member clubs increased from 150 to 280. The number of GIN handicaps computed from 24,000 when he began to more than 40,000 in 2014. The number of caddy scholarships awarded annually grew from 115 to 207, and the Youth Foundation was created in 1994, which continues to thrive to this day. It's pretty good. Tonight we honor Steve and his legacy, which, as I see it, is twofold. First, the impact he's had on the organization, which is measured by the growth, the achievements, and how he raised the profile over the course of 25 years. Steve's leadership brought us to new heights and helped position the association for today's unprecedented level of success. The second part of Steve's legacy is the immeasurable impact he had on the people. He's part boss, part friend, part motivator, part pain and part teacher. Added up, and Steve is the consummate golf administrator and mentor and a true Hall of Famer. I'll use a quote that Steve would often use, and one that he used during his retirement celebration in 2014. It was something he heard from his father about golf. Leave the course in better condition than you found it. I would like to think I have left the New Jersey State Golf Association in better condition than I found it. Steve, there's no doubt you've done exactly that, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce the newest member of the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame, Steve Fail.
Thank you, Mike. It's quite an honor to be here tonight. Thank you, NJ Golf and the Hall of Fame committee, especially Rod and David. I'm elated and honored to be part of this group, especially nice that David has come up through the ranks and will be our next president. His grandfather, Bob Kronheim, was the second president that I worked for in the 1990s. His legacy, Bob's legacy, is that he started the Youth Foundation. Congratulations to Marina and Brian, two of the best players in the history of New Jersey golf. Their accomplishments are at the highest levels. I'm reminded of the great Bob Uecker when he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. I still think I should have gone in as a player. I was fortunate to be born under a lucky star. My mother and father, my three older brothers, all played golf. Here tonight, representing those three brothers, are my nephew Chaz, my niece Mace, and my nephew Brooks. It's so appropriate that we're here at Essex County Country Club. My grandfather was a member until his untimely death in 1929. My parents were members in the 30s and 40s. My mother, who had the most beautiful rhythmic swing, won the club championship here in 1938, 39, 42, and 46. I remember the first time I came to Essex County for an NJ golf event. Joe Cataldo was so excited to take me up to the ladies' locker room and show me my mother's name on the trophy. Don't worry, it was a Monday. Joe also told me that he caddied for my mother and father. More importantly than playing, my parents were volunteer administrators. My mother was a member of the USGA Women's Committee from 1967 to 1976, and later she was president of the U.S. Women's Senior Golf Association. My father was president here at Essex County in 1949, before we moved to Williamstown in 1950, and I'm proud his name is on the board out there. There at Taconic Golf Club, he was chairman of the 1956 USGA Junior and the 1963 U.S. Women's Amateur. I caddied in that 1963 Women's Amateur for Barbara Fay White from Shreveport, Louisiana. She won 2 matches, and at age 15, I was convinced she would win the whole thing. Sadly, she 3-putted to lose, and I sat down next to her bag and cried. The great English amateur, Sir Michael Benalek, said, "Golf is my passport to friendship." I have been fortunate to meet so many wonderful people through golf, many of whom are here tonight. I've met friends from all over the world and had many memories representing experiences because of golf. You don't get here alone. I started in golf administration at the USGA in June of 1977. My first day, I flew to Tulsa for the US Open at Southern Hills. That was the Hubert Green Death Threat Open, if anybody remembers. The next day, I was sitting next to Arnold Palmer in a members program meeting. I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. I was mentored by veterans like P.J. Boatwright, Frank Hannigan, Grant Spaeth, Tom Meeks. They and others helped me tremendously. When I was appointed executive director here in New Jersey in December of 1989, Frank called me to give me 2 pieces of advice. First, if you're running a match play tournament, make sure you never end up with 3 people in the semifinals. And second, if you have a 15-member board, always make sure you have 8 on your side. I've been so lucky to have 2 great teams. My team at work, which included Bunny, Denny, Allison, Mike, Rich, Brad, and many others, all contributed to the success and growth of the association. More importantly, my personal team, led by my wife of 54 years, Betsy, and my children, Tucker and Meg, they supported me every step of the way. It's been a fantastic journey. Thank you all.
Congratulations. Steve, that was great. Some great nuggets of advice there for leadership as well. And I was writing down some notes. I've got mentorship, leadership, people skills. And I was going to say something about your impact on New Jersey golf, but I think you are New Jersey golf. That was impressive. Congratulations. That brings us to our final member of the New Jersey Golf Hall of Fame class of 2025, Brian Comline. Please enjoy this video for Brian.
Brian Comline's story begins on the baseball diamond. In his freshman year of college, an injury struck, a setback that would sideline him from the sport he loved. But little did Brian know, that injury would set him on a path towards something new. Brian, along with a few friends, would hit the local courses at dawn, chasing tee times at Green Knoll, Quailbrook, and Spooky Brook. It wasn't about the score. It was about the fun, the camaraderie, and the challenge of a new sport. With a baseball player's natural hand-eye coordination, Brian quickly took to the game. In just 18 months, he became a scratch golfer. His competitive spirit, once rooted in baseball, now had a new outlet in the fairways. Brian joined the Fairleigh Dickinson University golf team, but it would be a few years before he truly made his mark. Life took its course, and for a time, golf took a back seat to a full-time job. But Brian's competitive fire never faded. After slowly getting back into the competitive swing of things, Brian competed in several New Jersey golf events. Then, in 2005 at Fairmont Country Club, Brian Comline made a statement at age 31. He won the New Jersey Open Championship, only the sixth amateur to do so in its 85-year history. He didn't stop there. Brian would solidify his presence in the New Jersey golf community, shooting rounds of 71, 74, 69 for a 2-under par total to win the 2007 New Jersey Open at Plainfield Country Club. Following his 2 Open titles, Comline would go on to win the 4-ball championship twice, the amateur championship, the mid-amateur, and the Public Links, the Grand Slam of New Jersey golf championships. While at the top of his game, Comline participated as a member of 4 winning Stoddard Trophy squads. Brian continues to perform at an exceptionally high level. In 2024, he secured a runner-up finish in the Pre-Senior Championship. His dedication to the game remains steadfast.
Wow, do we have some talent here tonight. To introduce our third inductee is Brian's friend, John Olson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Olson, for those who don't know me. And for the ones who do and wonder where I've been, I moved to North Carolina about 8 years ago to escape the snow and the taxes. Before I start, I'd like to ask everybody for a moment of silence to recognize one of our own who recently passed away, John Doherty. JD, as he is mostly known as, was larger than life and a big part of our golfing lives, not only as a caddy, but a friend to most of us as well. He will be greatly missed. I'd like to recognize the others who have been inducted also. Marina Alex, congratulations to you on your induction and your career on the LPGA Tour. 2 wins on any tour is an amazing accomplishment. I remember when your dad used to bring you to Spicer's driving range at a very young age, then seeing you at Larry Hall's Christmas parties, and then by chance later on running into you with Brian down at the Tiger Woods Invitational at the Bahamas. Congratulations. Steve, running a state golf association isn't an easy task. Not many people know about the background work that needs to be done in making a tournament and an organization successful. Your leadership in the beginning helped jumpstart New Jersey into becoming one of the top associations in the country. And I apologize, I don't have many interactions with you like I did Marina, but I remember one time you yelled at me from across the parking lot because I didn't put a golf cart in the right spot during a pre-senior event. Kevin Purcell said I have 5 minutes to speak. It may go over a bit, and I'll do my best to say within the lines, but I can promise you it won't be as long as Michael Breed's speech. It's great to see old friends and familiar faces, and I can't begin to tell you what an absolute privilege it is to stand here before all of you today to introduce not only a truly remarkable individual, but someone who has left an indelible mark on amateur golf in New Jersey on being the only player to win every major. Not only are we recognizing a remarkable career, we're also celebrating an incredible person too. I won't spend too much time on Brian's career, that's the reason why we're here, but let's step back a little bit and acknowledge what an amazing accomplishment it is for him to win every major championship in the state. With all the past great amateur names in New Jersey golf, Chet Sanick, Jeff Thomas, and Bob Housen, just to name a few, no one has ever been able to accomplish what Brian has done, and to be honest and selfish, I hope no one ever matches it. From his first State Open win in 2005 to his last major win at the Mid-Am in 2012, Brian went on a run collecting majors that only Tiger Woods could relate to. And he did all of this while holding down a full-time job. Along with his 8 majors, he won a slew of invitationals, an MGA Public Links title, and a club championship at Black Oak Golf Club. And I'm pretty certain the guys at Black Oak were happy that Brian didn't play in many of the club championships due to the Crump Cup at Pine Valley being held the same week. But when Brian did win, it was against yours truly. In my defense, I did take him to the 35th hole. And let's just wait until he turns 55 when the senior career starts. We'll be back here in 10 years celebrating all those wins. Brian has a unique swing, one that isn't the type a teacher would recommend to a student first starting out. He's going to kill me. From his super strong grip, narrow stance, and slight pause at the top, quizzical looks from competitors take over when seeing it for the first time. But players will later be in awe when they see that ball take off like a rocket, a powerful fade that would never leave its intended target. In this regard, you can compare Brian to Scotty Scheffler, but with better footwork. What is truly astounding, Brian walked away from golf with a lot of gas left in the tank. He decided it was time to take a break to be around his family, his amazing wife, Fenny, his sons, Kellen and Noah. He prioritized mentoring the boys with their lives and their sports. They have turned into exceptional athletes and young men like their dad. I truly have enjoyed watching their growth over the years. I met Brian about 17 years ago on the golf course. After a 5 to 6 year layoff, I decided to play this cruel game again. I ran into Anthony Skelba, and he asked me to join him one weekend. Said he plays with a group of guys that are decent. We show up at Highbridge Hills and end up with playing with Brian and Mike Dio. Brian was just off his second fluke State Open win and says the teams are John and me against Mike and Anthony. My mouth went dry. Here I am, grouped with a State Open, a State Am winner, and a Mid-Am winner. And I just started playing again. Talk about baptism by fire. We decided to play for breakfast down at the Countryside Griddle. After 9, I'm nervous and we're down. I'm not playing that well. Brian senses this, and instead of trying to calm me down, gets in my face a little bit and says, "Let's go, John. We're playing for breakfast. We have pancakes on the line." I can't remember if I did contribute after that dress down, but I do know that Mike and Anthony paid for breakfast. After that day, I learned not to get between Brian and his breakfast. And the word pancake has since been our rallying call. For example, when I would caddy for Brian and we needed a little boost, I would say pancakes. You know what happened after that. Since then, we started hanging around together a lot, and our relationship grew into an older and younger brother type. Years later, when my wife and I decided to move to North Carolina, having to tell Brian was one of the hardest things I've had to do. I knew I would miss our frequent lunches, our dinners, and golf. And even though we're 4 states apart, our friendship has grown even stronger. And before I forget, our dads have been friends long before us, and we had no clue. I can go on and on about my relationship about Brian, but there are others that are here that have been a part of his life too. I asked a few of them to write some words that I have for you for later. I wanted everybody here to hear from them other than my viewpoint. So I took some bits and pieces. Niall Hanley. I first met Brian as teenagers in college when we both had full heads of hair at the Fairleigh Dickinson golf team. Brian was new to the game, having switched from baseball to golf. What stood out was his passion for the game and relentless drive to improve. I would describe Brian not only as an outstanding golfer, but also a tremendous team player who led by example. When we teed it up, the expectations were high. Eric Bliley. I played college golf with Brian back in the 90s for 2 years and roomed with him away at tournaments. He wasn't the powerhouse in college he was years later. He was better at snoring up a storm than breaking 75. Brian is an incredible father and would do anything for his family. He is a person that I fully trust when I need somebody to talk to. Mike Dio. Brian is a true competitor, whether it's watching him sink a 75-foot putt on the 17th hole to tie our match in the state 4-ball, or greeting and congratulating me on the 18th hole of the state amateur when he wasn't playing. Brian exemplifies a true friend to the game of golf. Golfers who have had the opportunity to be around Brian over the years know what a great ambassador he is to the game. Greg Angelillo. To know Brian is to admire him, not just for his remarkable accomplishments on the golf course, but for the person he is off it. I've been fortunate to witness his integrity, sportsmanship, and leadership firsthand. Whether playing alongside him on New Jersey golf teams or watching him lead as captain, Brian has consistently inspired me. He's always approached the game and those around him with humility and respect. He wins with class and loses with grace. And one last thing, Brian and I would always buy each other a shirt from a top course if the other one wasn't there. It's been a while since we've done that. So instead of a shirt to commemorate this historic day, I went ahead and had a putter and driver cover made with all his major wins on it. So before I get to introducing Brian, I would just like to leave you all with the following words. In addition to the trophies, the accolades, and the wins, what truly sets Brian apart is his impact on and off the course. He is an incredible father, husband, son, and an amazing friend. His contributions to this game go far beyond the game itself. Tonight we celebrate a career not just defined by success, but by character too. We honor a person who has enriched the lives of so many, whether it be through golf or life. It is with tremendous pride that I introduce Brian Comline into the New Jersey Golf Association Hall of Fame.
Wow. Thank you, John, for that amazing introduction. John has long been one of my best friends, and I knew if I was ever given a chance like this, that John would be the guy that I want to stand up here and introduce me. So thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. I want to congratulate Marina and Steve on their introduction as well. Marina, watching that video, wow, unbelievable, your playing career. That is spectacular. And Steve, your vision for the New Jersey Golf Association, I've known you for a long time. You've left your fingerprints on everything that's here today with us, so thank you very much. Congratulations. I also want to thank the committee who has gotten me here. I understand there's a lot of people that need to approve this and nominate me to be here, and I am super appreciative of the opportunity to be here. So thank you to everybody at the NJSGA. So, as you heard from the video, my story is quite different than most that are being honored for lifetime golf accomplishments. I grew up as a baseball player and didn't really start playing golf until I got into college. A shoulder injury derailed my baseball career or path, and I stumbled upon golf through a summer job and working at a golf range, picking golf balls. And I had a great owner who basically said, hey, when you're not working, go ahead, hit as many balls as you want. And I haven't talked to that owner in about 10 years, and he read the article on the website, and he actually reached out to me and said, hey, did I really say that? And I responded back, and I said, you did, and his response was, I'm really glad that I did, because this is fantastic. So really such an honor. And I quickly fell in love with the game of golf, but not just golf, but the camaraderie that came with it. The morning rounds with the boys, which turned into lunch, maybe a cocktail or two, and then an emergency 9 in the afternoon, or maybe more golf. You know, we would spend the whole entire day there, and I absolutely fell in love with golf. Golf's an extremely hard game. Somehow I got pretty good at it in a relatively short amount of time, but I was still missing something, and that was the urge to test my game against the best players in the area. And that's where the New Jersey State Golf Association came in for me. There was no junior golf, there was no AJGA, so my first real competitive golf started here in New Jersey in these New Jersey State Golf Association tournaments. And let me tell you guys, the competition was real. In fact, I remember a lot of missed cuts in my first years. And not missed cuts at the championship venues, missed cuts at the qualifiers just to get into those championship venues. It was a testament for what New Jersey golf was. It took a few years, but I was finally able to break through and qualify for a New Jersey major. And let me tell everyone, again, it did not go very well once I got there. I remember my first state open in 1997 at Crestmont. I'm not going to tell you guys the scores that I shot because this is a night of celebration. There was no celebrating those scores that I shot. I remember looking at the scores. At that time, it was a 4-round tournament, and I was at home looking at them and going, man, why can't I do that? Right? Well, how am I going to shoot those scores? And the one thing I was really good at was motivating myself and trying to figure out a way to get better. And I slowly just kept getting better and better. And as I got into the early 2000s, I started making cuts and I became exempt. But where it really all changed for me was in 2005. I'd recently started working on my game with my good friend Henry Ellison, who was a teacher at the David Glenn's Golf Academy. But I'd known Henry for a long time. And I called up Henry. It was a few weeks before the state open. And I went to the range. I put my bag down, and Henry kind of looked at me, and he was like, what's wrong with you? And he knew something was wrong. And I said, Henry, I've been fighting this hook. I can't stop hooking the ball. Anytime I get under any pressure at all, this hook comes out. So he said, all right. He takes out a 7-iron. He hands me the club. He set up to it. He goes, let me see you hit your hook. And before I hit a shot, he stopped me. He changed my grip. He changed my alignment. He goes, all right, let me see you hit a hook. So I hit my shot, and I hit this monstrous slice off the range. And he looked at me, and he goes, how about that? And I said, well, I can't play that either, right? That's not going to work, right? I don't want to hook it, but I don't want to hit that. So in Henry's true spirit, he kind of smiled. He said, relax. We'll get through this. Let's just keep working on it. So we worked through it. I had 2 weeks to go before the state open. And every day I would go to work. I would come home. I'd go to the range, and I would just keep working on what he was working on me with. So curtain up, curtain down. I'm now on the first tee at Fairmount. And for those of you who know Fairmount, the first tee is a par 5. Left's no good. It's actually right is kind of where you want to miss it. So I stepped up and I hit this little bleed cut shot over there in on the right side. And I remember walking up the fairway with this sense of security. I don't know why, I just did. And I got to my ball, and it was history. 63 shots later, I shot 64. I was 8 under par and leading the state open by 2 shots. And really a place that I was not comfortable with, but that's where I was. And everybody knows you don't win the state open or any tournament after the first round. You got 3 rounds. So the second round, I went out there and I absolutely striped it for 2 under par in the second round. So now I'm 10 under par after 2 rounds. And just again, in a really unfamiliar place. I'd never been there before. And, so now I'm in the final round. I'm playing with Brett Jones, who is one of the best players in the state. He's the assistant pro at Fairmount. Tons of people following us around, watching us. The pressure was on. And I went out. I remember in the first 9 holes, I hit every green. I was inside at 10 feet on every hole, and I never hit the hole once because I would stand over these putts, and my hands were shaking so much from how nervous I was. But I got my act together. I made some birdies on the back, made some pars, made some bogeys, ended up shooting 72 and winning the state open by 4 shots. Yeah. And that was the springboard for me. And I remember coming off the green, and I walked over, and I had a lot of friends over there. And who was there in the back? My guy, Henry Ellison. And Henry's here tonight. He's in the back there. I haven't seen Henry in maybe 10 years. But I just want to say thank you to Henry for everything you did in helping me get to this position where I am right now. And let me tell you what, after Henry left, my friends and I, we all went out and had a heck of a celebration that night. It was unbelievable. It was legendary. I was also extremely lucky to have a great friend caddying for me during those major championships. My man Scott Natush, he's here as well tonight. I haven't seen him in a long time. But having a trusted caddy played a huge part in my success. Aside from being one of the best green readers I've ever seen, he always guided me in the right direction and kept me in the right mindset. When competing in tournaments with Scott on the bag, I never felt like it was me against the course. It was we against the course. And I really, really appreciated that. One of the great memories I have of Scott was in the first round of the 05 championship. When I got to the 18th hole, I was 7 under par. Again, fish out of water. I had no idea what I was doing, where I was. But the 18th hole at Fairmount is a par 4 with a creek that runs across it, so you have to make a decision. Are you going to challenge the creek and hit it over it, or are you going to lay up? And I walked to my bag, which was over in the corner, looking to get a rescue, and none of my woods were there. And it wasn't abnormal for Scott to take all my woods and go to the tee and go meet me up there, so I was like, all right. So I walk up to the tee, and I said, hey, have you seen my rescue? And he goes, I haven't seen that, but here's your driver. Go ahead and pound this thing down there, flip it on the green, and let's make a birdie. And I did that. And that was a huge part of the momentum going into round 2. If I had gone out there and made a bogey or made a double or something different, Scott knew that I hated laying up. There wasn't a hole on a course, on a planet that I wanted to lay up on any shot. It was full bore all the way around. And Scott knew that, and he kept me in the right moment and really helped get me through there. So, Scott, thank you very much for everything you did. I really appreciate it. I want to thank all my friends back there that got all vocal before when we were talking about not playing. Thank you guys for being here. My friends are a huge part of all this stuff. And to be honest, a lot of those guys I've known before I joined Black Oak, and a lot of them I joined after. But that just goes to show you kind of how golf is, right? The places you go, the people you meet, that's what it's all about, right? The wins and losses, they come and go. But the people that you meet, the lasting memories, I will never forget that. And I want to thank David Glenz, who has been a huge mentor for me for a long time. I didn't know David was coming tonight. I knew he was in Florida. I was shocked to see you here. And I am super appreciative that you could be here to enjoy this moment with me. Thank you very much, David. I wish my dad could be here tonight. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But my mom is here. And my parents were amazing parents. And they never missed any baseball games for me growing up ever. They were at every game, whether my dad was coaching in Little League or high school. My mom was always in the stands yelling and screaming. It was amazing, great parents. But I didn't get good at golf until I was an adult. So, and golf's played during the week, and my parents had jobs, so they never really came to any golf tournaments, except for one. They came to the 2007 Plainfield State Open, which was perfect. My dad worked in Plainfield, and he'd heard what a great golf course Plainfield was, so they wanted to come to the tournament. And Plainfield holds a special place in my heart. It's one of my favorite golf courses in the state. And I played some of the best golf of my career that week. The golf course was on fire. It was fast. It was hard. The temperatures were scorching in the high 90s. It was humid. I can't believe I even survived it. It was a lot. And as they noted before, I didn't know I shot 71, 74, 69, but I do remember the 69, I think, was the only round sub 70 all week. That's how hard that golf tournament was. And it's always held a special moment. You didn't know this, Mom, but it's always been special for me that you and Dad were there to see me play. Last, but certainly not least, my wife, Fenny. She's not a golfer, but she has taken a lot of strides to try and learn golf for me. And I've always appreciated that. She's learned about birdies, she's learned about pars, she's learned about eagles. Father's Day, she'll sit down with me and watch the US Open and pretend like it's fantastic when I'm tooting and roaring for shots. I think the hardest part probably of teaching her about golf was that those Saturday morning rounds last 10 to 12 hours because of slow play. I've tried to get around those slow players. They just get in the way. So for those of you that disagree with that, please keep that to yourself. But those who agree with that, please let her know that I'm not lying. But in all seriousness, she gave up a lot of vacations, a lot of time, a lot of family time. And it's hard to be a competitor's golfer's wife. It really is. And one of the main reasons that I have kind of stopped playing as much golf is to spend more time with my family and try and do more of that stuff that we missed out. I still don't want to go to Home Depot for those do-it-yourself projects, but trying to spend as much time as we can together. And she's given me the two greatest gifts of my life, my kids. Neither of them are here tonight because guess what? They're playing baseball. Exactly where I would be if I was their age. And my son pitched today, 7 innings, Bridgewater wins, go Panthers. So why my kids aren't golfers yet, they will be someday. And when that time comes, I can't wait to experience golf with them and all that comes with the father-son golf experience. So I thank everybody here tonight for your time, and I thank everyone at the New Jersey Golf Association. You guys, the New Jersey Golf Association means so much to me. It really gave me the platform that I needed to play golf and to be here. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, it's hard to follow that up. Congratulations, Brian. And the points that you touched on are so relevant and so perfect with family and friends and the support system and the sacrifices that family makes in this sport and the perseverance and the faith you need to succeed. I will also go back to a couple notes that Brian mentioned about the level of play and talent in the New Jersey Golf Association and the New Jersey State. To be inducted into a state Hall of Fame is a serious honor, and it's just a lifetime achievement, really. And any state would be a huge celebration. But New Jersey, I think, is extra special. I mean that when I say the level of talent and the quality of play and the leadership that we have in this area is absolutely second to none. And I, again, want to congratulate our three inductees tonight, Marina, Steve, and Brian. Another round of applause for three great inductees. The presenters were great. Essex County Country Club was fantastic. Joe Kelly is back there somewhere. Please give our best to the entire staff. I would also like to thank the New Jersey Golf Association, Kevin, Rod, David, the entire group. Thanks for all that you do, and thanks for allowing me to be a part of this very special celebration tonight. A couple quick notes. I do want to give a reminder for the families and the club officials and honorees to please be sure and get photos taken with your awards before leaving tonight. So save some time for that, and I hope you do enjoy some cocktails and some camaraderie here before heading home. But most importantly, again, let's all be very grateful and thankful for what this great sport gives us. We are so fortunate to be involved in golf, and this is another example of that. What a special night. Very thankful to be a part of it. I hope everybody has a very safe trip home and has a great 2025 season. Thank you very much.